Late last week, Betsy DeVos, the Secretary of Education here in the United States, was held in civil contempt by a federal judge because her department in the federal government refused to obey a court order from 2018. Here's the backstory on this. It's something we have explained in the past, but I'm going to run through it again really quick. 2018, judge comes out and says, hey, Education Department, you can no longer collect any debts whatsoever from student loan borrowers who attended Corinthian College because Corinthian colleges turned out to be a complete scam. They lied to students, they defrauded them, so do not take their money away because they took out loans to attend a fraudulent college. I'm protecting these groups, don't take their money. To which the Department of Education said, oh yeah, sure, totally, we're not going to take their money. And then they proceeded to withhold their tax returns, to garnish their wages, to issue liens against them because they were still taking their money. So these students who knew the government could not take their money for their student loans anymore filed a lawsuit against Betsy DeVos and the Department of Education for violating the court order, took it to court. Last week, the judge says, you know what, students, you're right. Betsy DeVos is breaking the law. I am holding her in civil contempt. And I am fining $100,000. Oh, but don't worry, folks. The multi-billionaire Betsy DeVos isn't going to have to pay that $100,000 out of her own pocket. She's not going to have to go sell one of her 10 yachts to pay for it. No, that money is going to come out of the federal government itself. Our tax dollars. So Betsy DeVos gets held in criminal contempt, or civil contempt, and we have to friggin' pay for it? How does that work? How is that a punishment for the Department of Education? That's punishing everybody who pays into taxes. That money should have to come out of Betsy DeVos's pockets. And you ought to up it by about 1,000% because she can afford it. The people she was scamming, the people she was illegally taking money from, they couldn't afford those payments. But Betsy DeVos can. As I mentioned, this woman has multiple yachts. Her brother owns the private mercenary group Blackwater. Her parents were billionaires. Betsy DeVos has the money. And it's unfair to take that money from the Department of Education, a federal department that is already starved for cash, to take our tax dollars and pay her fine. That's not okay. That's not something that any of us should be okay with. Yes, it's great that DeVos got held in contempt and that somebody in this administration learned that they are not above the law. And unfortunately, like everything else with this administration, it ends up falling back on us, the taxpayers. We're the ones who ultimately get screwed in this. Betsy DeVos should be forced to pay that fine herself. She has the money to do it, and she'll never, ever miss it. But instead, taking $100,000 worth of taxpayer money away from schools, away from school programs, and handing it over to the court because Betsy DeVos decided to break the law. Thanks for watching, everybody. And don't forget, if you like what you see here, like, comment, share, and subscribe to our channel. And now you can also become a member of Ring of Fire and get exclusive early access to certain Ring of Fire videos all throughout the week. Just click on the little join button right below the video.